Could Ibrahima Konate be on his way to Liverpool? Hey guys, Fletch here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Fletch Talks video. You know the drill by now. This is the video where I bring a trending topic or a topic of interest within the world of football. I bring it here. I put it under the microscope. I throw the spotlight onto it and we talk about it. We discuss it. We may even debate a little about it. And today's video is no exception, as today we are looking at the biggest emerging transfer rumour of today, and it's revolving and centering around RB Leipzig defender Ibrahima Konate. Before we go on any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. But for now, let's get back to talking about Ibrahima Konate of RB Leipzig and where his future may lie, because today it's been emerged that he is very much likely to leave RB Leipzig in the future and possibly join Premier League side Liverpool when he does so, and it could be as soon as the end of this season. This has all come from The Athletic's David Ornstein, who today wrote a tweet and also followed it up with an article about the player. He wrote talking about his potential deal to Liverpool. He claimed that the Reds had made significant progress in their attempt to buy the defender. And although nothing has been confirmed, they are looking at finalising it as soon as possible, and that the fee looks to be the defender's £40 million release clause that he has within his contract, and that the Reds should, or possibly should, tie this deal up very quickly, even before this summer's European Championships. So, a lot to look forward to. It's a lot to get excited about if you're a Liverpool fan. For RB Leipzig, though, it does go somewhat to prove they are a bit more of a selling club. They've already obviously been told that Dale Upamecano is leaving at the end of the season, so that's another centre-back that they'll be losing and another big player for them that they'll be leaving. They, of course, have lost Timo Werner last year. They, of course, lost Naby Keita a few years ago. So, again, it's this thing of RB Leipzig being a bit of a selling club despite their wealth, and you know, although they haven't got the history because they're a very recent kind of club that's come into existence, it is another player that is set to be leaving the club very soon. But back to Konate, though. Konate has been making quite the name for himself in Germany with RB Leipzig, and even on an international level with the French side as well. Obviously, being 21, he's far from the finished article, but he's shown a lot of promise that he can get to a top class or top quality kind of level. He's quick, he's got a good aerial ability about him, reads the game pretty well for someone of his age. Quite intelligent when it comes to tackling. He doesn't really make stupid fouls very often, and he's got great composure on and off the ball and a calmness to his game as well. And he likes to dribble it out from the back, like what many defenders do, and how it has become sort of the norm to sort of have a player or a defender, a centre-back, who's very good with the ball at his feet, and his distribution and his passing range is pretty good as well. And all of these qualities are very similar, you'd think, to what the likes of Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk, what could be his fellow teammates in the near future, have in their arsenal as well. They are very good at these kind of attributes, and all of them put together, from his youth to his promising ability to his current ability and so on and so forth, everything that I've talked about can go hand in hand, and I think they are exactly the kind of attributes that I believe, in my mind, Jurgen Klopp would be looking for in a centre-back. There is one slight concern, though, and one slight negative to his game, and it could possibly affect this deal, I think, and that is injuries. We all know of Liverpool's massive injury crisis and problems this season with the injuries that have affected. They've gone through the entire team, but they've not affected one area as much as what they have done in the centre-back area. And despite being young, Konate has been a victim to multiple injury problems down the years, and significantly has reduced his playing time over the past couple of seasons especially. So it may be worth keeping this in mind for going forward, but it does appear that when he is fully fit and when he's playing and performing, you've got a great player in your ranks and on your hands, and I'm sure that Liverpool have obviously done their homework and their research on this player, seen and highlighted this possible issue, and hope that the worst of his injuries are behind him and that they can move on and help the player progress, and that he'll be a welcome addition to this side that needs reinforcements in the defensive area. And as a Liverpool fan myself, I personally feel that this is a very good move by the club, and if these rumours are true, then it's nice that we're beginning our preparations early for next season, especially with how I said earlier that the European Championships are going to be in the summer, so we're going to try and get most of our players in and most of our plans in motion before that tournament kicks off. Konate's been a very decent defender for a while, I think. When he's been playing, I've kind of rated him, but I have kind of rated his fellow teammate Upamecano more, and obviously would have liked Upamecano more. I think I spoke about this in previous videos and things that I've done, where I've said that I feel Upamecano will be a perfect choice for Liverpool, but of course with him going to Bayern Munich at the end of this season, Konate isn't a bad alternative either. But he needs to obviously stay fit, he needs to stay healthy, and he needs to stay clear of injuries in order to make this deal a successful one. We've already got a few players that are like glass cannons at Liverpool. You look at the likes of Joel Matip, Naby Keita, who coincidentally came from Leipzig, and you know, they have got constant injury problems that go like one after the other. As soon as you get them back, they're only a few games away from getting another injury. We don't need another player like that, but like I say, if you can stay clear of them, then he will be a welcome addition to the club. And given his ability and the way that he can continue to grow and evolve and get better, especially under a manager like Jurgen Klopp, who likes this kind of player that he can mould into someone that he likes, and he can help grow into this beast of a defender that we've seen from him time and time again, where he's taken a player that's been that's got a lot of promise to him or is mediocre in the eyes of many people, and he's helped elevate their level, and that is exactly what he can do with Konate here. And hopefully this will be a successful deal if it goes through, and with all these attributes that I talked about earlier, this is definitely a Jurgen Klopp signing, so I'm all for it. Now, on the flip side, let's talk about if this transfer does happen, what then becomes of the likes of both Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak. Now, of course, Kabak came in January on loan, and to be fair to him, when you put everything into context, moving to a different league, a different club, a different style, a number of issues to walk into at that club, I don't think he's done too badly at all. And with the £25 million option to buy him, of course, because like I say, he came in on loan from Schalke, it wouldn't be a bad decision to activate that clause, and especially given how Matip's not exactly reliable when it comes on the injury front. And then your 5 centre-backs for next season would be Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Ozan Kabak, Joel Matip, and of course Ibrahima Konate. I think those 5 defenders would be very good and perfect for Liverpool going forward. Like I say, I think Kabak brings something a little bit different to the Liverpool backline, and plus, like I say, he's 20 years old, so he's definitely got a lot to improve. He's still a little green around the edges, still a little rough around the edges that he can be moulded to, and he can be a future centre-back starter definitely for this Liverpool side. And like I say, it's really about building for the future here. That is for the present and the future, and Kabak can certainly be a part of that, I feel. As for Phillips, I think that you have to give him credit for being professional and giving a good account of himself. I think he's done well for the job he's been told to do. He's done everything that I believe that Jurgen Klopp and everyone at Liverpool would have asked him to do. I don't think there is a lot of things that you can say against this guy. But ultimately, I just don't think that he's good enough for the club. I don't think he's good enough for what Liverpool want and for what Liverpool are looking for and are wanting to achieve going forward. I can't question his desire. I can't question his loyalty. I can't question his passion or his willingness. But ability-wise, I just don't think it's quite what Liverpool are looking for and where Liverpool are at right now. But the performances he's put in this season, they haven't put any harm against him. They definitely won't harm his help in finding a new club. And for Liverpool, it won't harm in bumping up his price tag a fair bit. So it'll be good for both parties, both the player and the club. For Phillips, probably will be sold this summer and probably will go on to find a new club that's maybe lower Premier League level. You're looking at maybe like a Burnley, say, or a Crystal Palace or something. And for the club, they can easily stretch out the price tag, and Michael Edwards can do his magic and he can get a very decent price tag on this guy. So it's unfortunate for Phillips, but ultimately it will be good for both parties in the long run. But of course, as I always say, these are just the thoughts, comments and opinions of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the potential signing of Ibrahima Konate to Liverpool? What do you make of Konate as a player? What do you make of RB Leipzig being a bit of a selling club? What do you make of Liverpool's transfer business going forward? And anything like that. What do you make of the Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak situation? Where do you think their futures lie? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call them, in the comment section below. I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.